My question was actually specific for Oriana, looking like you're definitely the youngest part of this group. And what kind of challenges that alone brings to you, from trying to recognize your strengths and build your fearless leader, persona, and, capitalize on the, self-awareness and those different things. Like what might that bring to you that it might not bring to others?
Okay, great question. I think that maybe me as a young person, is a very different generation, the one in which I grew up on. And I think it's very different the way, for example, when I speak to people that are older than me, is different to maybe like pursue different ideas. But it happens not only in the program, but like as a whole, the way that we do things may be different. But it's for me very important to maybe like understand the way that other people do things, and maybe like what can I grasp within them, so that my generation can I also like bring to the table, to be more empathetic with the things that, because my generation is always like tilted to be like the ones that, no, we just do the things in our way, but maybe it doesn't have to be that way. For me, in my opinion, there needs to be like a congruence between the voice of the youth but also the voice of the older people. And for opportunities like that is that you get a seat on the table. And Kathy for me was the first person that recognized me and gave me a seat at the table to be with people that I admire a lot, and maybe to live up to that expectation that you can grow up to be a very fearless leader in the future, or you can be a fearless leader now. It's for me very important and pivotal. And yeah, so having a seat at the table for the youth is definitely a challenge, because speaking up again to people that have more experience, like college experience. I don't haven't even graduated from college. That's also like when I think of my objectives, it's like, okay, but I don't even have the pursuit of the whole knowledge of my career. I'm not even halfway through. But having a seat at the table that people listen to you and that they are eager to know what your thoughts on, that's a reward. And that for the youth is so prevalent. And for spaces like this, when I get heard, it's like, okay, maybe if I feel this fueled and this mission, I get more motivated for do other things because I feel like my voice is being heard, thanks to people like you. So thank you for that question.
Awesome. Thank
A
you. Do you have a
question.
question, Jenna? Marcia, do you have a question?
I have a question for her, because I'm thinking it's really fantastic when the youth feel that they can speak up and they are heard, and it inspires them to share more ideas or ask more questions. I'm trying to think, I don't know how to put the question really, because how do we integrate the, like, I don't want to say older generation, but more experienced people with the young people? Because oftentimes the more experienced, they want to share, and they want to also be heard, and they want to mentor and teach, but they feel that the young people think, oh, they're old, and they need to listen to a better or a newer way, and so they feel also like tossed to the side. So we don't need that anymore, even though they've got the experience. How do we bring them together to integrate more listening? And
Okay, so I think that that goes specifically like in panel of discussions in which you have two viewpoints and you can share those two viewpoints and feel free and listen to the other person. I think it's based a lot of on empathy and respect. I know that that person that may be older than me is saying that out of experience, out of knowledge, and I'm bringing to the table the perspective of my generation that maybe is different, that maybe wants to see a different future, and we envision things different. But it is important to collide with those both things, and I think that the mere base of that is respect and empathy, and understanding that the other person, to the other person, what they bring to the table is also important. I think that specifically it goes more with more in-depth issues that you see the youth perspective coming more through, and that's something very very hopeful for the youth, that we're being included. but yeah, I think that it goes along listening to what the other person has to say, and that all comments go from the side of respect and tolerance for the other's opinions, in my opinion.
Beautiful. And we're doing that right now. We're listening to each other. We're giving each other voice, opportunity to express a view, share perspective. So maybe for the next panels that any of you do in your company, in your industry, make sure you've got age diversity in there and see what happens, see what kind of exchange comes up.